If you've ever felt like someone was standing just outside your window at night, this story is for you. This case comes from a small town in northern America called Willow Creek. On the surface, it's just a rural highway stop, a gas station, a diner, and a rundown motel. But what happened inside room 13B of that motel is the reason locals still refuse to book that room after sunset. The details you are about to hear are taken from the personal diary of the victim. Ethan Clark, 28. The statements recorded by the Willow Creek Sheriff Department and the motel owner's incident log, which was never released to the public. Around 11:40 p.m., Ethan Clark, a traveling electrician, was returning from a long work trip. Exhausted and half asleep, he pulled into the only place open on Highway 17, Willow Creek Motel, a flickering neon vacancy sign, peeling paint, rotting wood. The kind of place you book only because you have no other choice. The old woman at the reception didn't talk much. She slid the keys toward him and said, "Room 13B." The room was small, a creaky bed, a wooden desk, and a large single window facing the dark forest. Ethan swore he saw a shadow move outside as he closed the curtains. But he brushed it off as exhaustion. He had no idea his life was about to change forever. Ethan woke up, not from a sound, but from a feeling, like someone was watching him. The room was silent, but his heart was pounding. He got up for water and noticed something on the window. A fresh fingertip mark on the inside corner of the glass, perfectly shaped, perfectly centered, like someone had pressed their finger there just moments ago. But the window was locked from the inside. Ethan felt a chill down his spine. Still, he convinced himself. Probably housekeeping. Calm down. He went back to sleep. The next day, Ethan had to stay another night. He requested the old lady to change his room. She stared at him for a few seconds and said, "13B is fine. Other rooms aren't available." That night around 1:57 a.m., Ethan saw something, a figure standing outside the window. Still, tall, human-shaped, not moving at all. Ethan froze. He slowly walked closer, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. The shadow didn't move until Ethan stood just a few feet from the glass. Then, the figure slid backward into the darkness without making a single sound. Ethan immediately called the sheriff. A full search was done. Nothing, no footprints, no sign of a person, was found. As the sheriff left, he said one thing. "If you see him again, don't open anything." One that made this case famous. According to Ethan's diary, at 3:06 a.m., his eyes opened suddenly. The room was completely still, and at the window stood a man. Not a silhouette, not a shadow, a full human figure, tall, dark clothes, face not visible, but clearly looking inside. Ethan couldn't breathe. Then the man slowly lifted his head, and Ethan felt the weight of his direct stare. Seconds passed like hours. Then, suddenly, the man moved closer, so close that Ethan could see the condensation of his breath fogging the glass, and the man's lips moved. He whispered one word. "Open." Something fell through the bottom crack of the window frame. A small knife. Old, rusty, covered in brown, dried stains. The man didn't move. Didn't blink. Just stared. Ethan backed away, terrified. At dawn, Ethan found blood traces under the window. The sheriff was called again. This time, they searched the forest behind the motel. They found items that matched multiple missing persons reports. Torn clothing, a woman's bracelet, a single boot, and a wallet with no ID covered in mud, but no human remains. The sheriff told Ethan, "Leave town today." Ethan packed his things. Before he left, he glanced at the window one last time. The water breath mark from the night before was still on the glass. The story doesn't end there. When Ethan returned to his home across the state, he opened his bedroom window for fresh air. And there, on the glass, a tau, fresh fingertip mark. Exactly like the one in room 13B, same size, same pattern. That night, at 3:06 a.m., Ethan heard slow footsteps in the hallway outside his bedroom door. He called 911. Officers arrived. They found nothing. But the body cam footage told a different story. On the staircase landing, for just half a second, a human figure appeared in frame. Unidentified, unmatched. Not seen by the officers, but clearly visible on camera. He changed his town. He changed his house. He even installed iron grills on every window. But the last line in his diary, the one that's the most disturbing, "He doesn't look for me everywhere. He only comes to the places where there's a window